Hey man, how you been? I'm pretty good myself, but I gotta tell you something. You being my closest friend and all, I just got back from the doctor and they said they diagnosed me with chronic gastritis. I'm pretty sure you're thinking, what is that? Well, I'll tell you right now. Gastritis is basically this inflammation in my stomach lining. The mucus protecting my stomach from the acids is weaker, so the acids could do a bit of damage to my stomach. That's what gastritis is, and as soon as they told me that I had gastritis, I immediately had a couple questions to ask. First, I asked them what were some of the symptoms or signs. They said that a burning sensation in your stomach, and when they said that, I thought of all these times where I was eating food, and in between the meal, I would get like someone lit a fire in my stomach, and then later, while I was trying to fall asleep, I would get that same sensation. They also said nausea and vomiting, and I had a bit of those, but I didn't think it was too big, so I, one time I vomited and it didn't look that great. I wanted to go to the doctor, but I don't have the greatest insurance, so I just passed it off, and it never really happened again. But they said one of the biggest signs of having gastritis was burping. But when you burp, you get this acidic taste in the back of your mouth. And when they said that, I just thought of all the times that happened to me when I was playing soccer, when I was just eating, when I was just sitting down and watching TV. That would happen. I and when they said now that I figured out what were some of the signs, I asked them what were my treatment options. What can I do to make sure that this doesn't become anything bigger than gastritis? They said that regular visits with your doctor and taking the medication that they will prescribe me for gastritis. That's another thing. The medication they prescribed me this thing called omeprazole. So what omeprazole does is it reduces my stomach acids, and it makes my it's a stomach acid reducer, so it makes my acids weaker, and the acids won't do damage towards my stomach because my mucus protecting the stomach lining is weaker. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I asked them how could I contract this. They said that there was this bacteria. It's called hyperchloraic pylori. They said that was one of the main causes of gastritis. I asked them if this bacteria is still harmful towards me, and they said no, but I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I just I don't have the greatest insurance, and the medication that they prescribe me is long term. It's gonna carry on for the rest of my life, basically. Because if I don't take the medication, the gastritis could escalate to something a bit bigger, and then I don't want. Then what I mean by something a bit bigger is it could escalate to like stomach cancer or something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I really could use support from friends like you. I want to thank you for listening to me. Amen. I wanna thank you for coming on such short notice. Listen, this is basically. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but uh, it's been my dream to go to Africa. I like visiting countries. I like traveling. Unfortunately, I contracted Ebola when I went there. It's don't worry. You're not gonna get it from me. It's transferred by bodily fluids. I'm making sure that I'm wearing this robe, and I'm not gonna get very close to you. But I'm gonna tell you how I got this though. I had some signs. I remember one time I had diarrhea, but I didn't look at where I pooped, so yeah, that's a funny note on there. But I've had some pretty bad diarrhea. I've had this fever; it's killing me. My voice isn't that well, and I'm extremely tired. Doc, I asked the doctors how could I have contracted this, and they said coming in contact with bodily fluids, and then it all just clicked. Listen, well, you see, I was running short on water. I got a bit lost in Africa, and I found this Native American tribe. Not Native American, but this native tribe right there in Africa. I didn't know who they were. They didn't know who I was, but I did speak their language, and I was able to convince them to give me some water. What I didn't know is that some of them had Ebola, and that water was contaminated, and I drank the water. I asked the doctors what were my treatment options. They're good. I'm gonna be basically I'm staying here, and there are gonna be people coming in and treating me, treating any infections, anything. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. This is basically my death note, if you will. I'm telling you everything. I asked them if there's any medication. They said that they will give me antibiotics, so they say, to soothe the pain, but there's not going to be any medication that's going to fully treat Ebola. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just want to tell everybody that I love them, death wish and all that. I'm not entirely sure if I'll make it, but there's no medication. There's medication to soothe my pain and all that, because I've having really bad muscle pain, and I don't know what and I'm extremely confused. I don't know. It's strange. And the doctors are going to be coming here tomorrow morning, and they're going to take shifts and protect me, and all this typical stuff. You've seen the news, what they're doing in Africa. But I just want to tell everybody, I'm going to say this to you, and I want, if I die, you are going to tell this to everybody. That, you basically know all my friends. You're my brother, our family. You're going to tell mom and dad and all that. But I'm telling this all to you. I love my family. I love all of them. And I don't even know how I'm going to get this. Like, Ebola's a virus. I don't know how I know how I got this, but I should have been smarter when I went to Africa. But, yeah, well, thanks for listening.